Hey Isaac, I'm sorry to tell you like this, but I want to break off our engagement.
What? First, you didn't come home last night without even messaging me about what you were doing. And now this? What happened? Was it something I did?
No, it doesn't have anything to do with you. Well, actually, yeah, I guess it kinda does.
What is it, Melissa? Let's calm down for a minute and talk things over, okay?
I found a guy who's better for me than you are.
Are you being serious right now?
Yeah, super serious. Oh, Isaac, sure, you're working for a pretty good company, making a pretty good salary, and are all around a pretty good guy. But compared to Mitch? So yeah, I decided that the best thing for me would be to break up with you and marry Mitch.
Mitch?
I would say you're better off not knowing about him, but since it might actually be a chance for you to do some self-improvement, let me tell you all about what a dream he is. He took over an entire IT company from his dad 3 years ago, and all the tech magazines are calling him the rising star of the industry.
I see.
So anyway, moving right along, I know this will probably be difficult for you, so I'll get my rich new fiance Mitch to give you some money as a compensation for me breaking off the engagement. Go ahead and name your price. He can pay it with no trouble.
No, let's not just move right along with this conversation. We need to talk about this in person, Melissa. Our parents have already met. Our wedding plans are underway. We're not some high school couple who can just break up by text. What are you thinking?
Oh, come on. Don't go getting all sentimental on me, Isaac. We're not legally married yet, and we still haven't put down the deposit on the wedding venue, so what's the big deal? And like I said, Mitch will give you some money as an apology. Let's both be grown-ups here and agree to amicably part ways, okay? Oh, and by the way, I already have all of my important things moved out, so I won't be coming back to the apartment.
Melissa, you can't do this. Come on. Let's meet up and talk things over. Please?
No thanks, bye-bye.
Hey, Mitch. Sorry to message you out of the blue like this. There's something very important I need to talk to you about as soon as possible. So please message me back once you see this. Oh, hey there, Isaac. Wow, I think the last time I talked with you was at my going away party at the office 4 years ago? How have you been? Sorry, Mitch. As much as I'd like to, I don't have time to catch up with you right now. Oh, wow. You sound like it's something serious. What's up? I'm gonna get right to the point. Do you know a woman named Melissa? Melissa? No, I can't say I know of any woman named Melissa. Well, I know of a few, but none I would consider close acquaintances. Why do you ask? Well, it's my fiancé. Oh, awesome! You getting married? Congratulations! Well, I was getting married. She just broke up with me. Huh? Wow. Well, I'm very sorry to hear about that. Did you want someone to talk to about that? No, I'm not looking for a counseling session. All right. Well, then how exactly does this concern me? Melissa said the reason she was breaking up with me was because she's getting married to Mitch. That is, you? What? Hold on just 1 second. I do have a girlfriend, but her name's definitely not Melissa. And like I said, I don't even know any Melissa personally either. So whoever she's talking about, it isn't me. Okay. Yeah, I had a suspicion you'd say that. Would you mind telling me more? Why is your fiancée all of a sudden going around telling you she's getting married to me? It's a really long story. Do you think we could meet up in person in the next few days? If you want, we can meet somewhere close to your place. Yeah, that would probably be for the best. I'd like to figure out exactly what is going on here before it gets out of hand. Thanks, Mitch. I really appreciate it. Can you come to my apartment? It's right across from the station on 4th Avenue. 4th Avenue? The last I remember, you were living on North Main. Yeah, I was. But due to certain circumstances, I had to move. I actually just moved in here a few weeks ago. Certain circumstances, you say? I don't know if it has anything to do with what's going on with your fiancé, but if there's no point in hiding it, I'll tell you about it when you actually get here. Actually, could you come over today? I just so happen to have the rest of the day off. Wow, that's perfect. I had the day off today too. Awesome! As long as you're coming over, I can introduce you to my girlfriend who's just moved in with me. Let me know when you get close. I'll go out to the street to wait for you. Thanks. I'll let you know.
Hey again, Isaac. Just so you don't get any ideas in your head about the two of us getting back together, I thought I should let you know that Isaac and I just got married. It might seem sudden, but we were so desperate to finally be together. I hope you don't get too beat up about it. Not that I really care anymore. Mitch is way hotter than you, and he's filthy stinking rich. I feel like the luckiest woman in the world to have landed such a catch. It's too bad things didn't work out between us, Isaac. Maybe if you had a little more ambition, we could have really had something special. So yeah, that's all. If you see us on the street, pretend you don't know me, okay?
Hello, Melissa. Thanks for the report. For the record, I have absolutely zero interest in getting back together with you. But there's one last thing I'd like to confirm before we part ways forever.
Fine. What do you want? This had better not to be anything stupid like, did you ever really love me, or is there really nothing I can do to get you to stay, or something. Go ahead, ask your question, but make it quick so I can get back to the newly-wed life with Mitch.
Are you at Mitch's apartment right now?
That's it? Weird question, but yeah, I am. I've been gradually moving my stuff into his apartment over the last few weeks, ever since he proposed to me. Ah, somebody pinch me. I must be dreaming. I'm the wife of a wealthy and powerful CEO living on the top floor of a luxury apartment building. I can't imagine how anyone could live with less than this.
About that apartment. By any chance, are you in a high-rise apartment building on North Main? Room number 7501?
What the? That's super duper creepy. How do you know that?
I guess you didn't know this, but Mitch and I happen to be acquainted.
Really?
Yeah, we used to work at the same company for a while. His department and mine worked together frequently. So I ran into him quite often up until he left to take over his dad's company.
Oh, well, small world, I guess. Whatever, just don't forget that even though you might be old friends with my new husband, he's way more of a man than you'll ever be. So don't even think about trying to talk to him, got it?
There is just one more thing I'd like you to know.
Get over yourself. I don't care about anything you have to say.
I don't know. It seems like you would be pretty interested in hearing that Mitch moved out of that apartment 2 weeks ago.
What?
And he's also dating a woman who isn't you.
Seriously, Isaac, grow up. I get it. You're a sore loser because I broke up with you to be with a better man, but that doesn't give you the right to make up bizarre lies about my new husband. It's over and we're never getting back together. Give it up.
I'm not lying. I just heard about all of this from Mitch himself. He just introduced me to his girlfriend, who moved in with him.
What are you talking about?
I'm also in the same room as Mitch and his girlfriend right now. We're in his new apartment, the one he moved into 2 weeks ago.
Isaac, the lie has gone too far enough. Are you this desperate to get back together with me? Well, it's not going to work. No amount of lies from your mouth will ever break me and Mitch apart.
You said you just got married to Mitch, right? Send me a picture of him.
Fine, here he is. There, is that enough for you? Now, will you finally accept that Mitch and I are together?
Oh boy. Oh boy. This is, yikes.
What?
Oh my god. I can't believe this. That is not Mitch.
What? Yes, it is.
I mean, sure. I guess they do look alike, but that's not Mitch.
Yes, it is.
No, that's Mitch's younger brother, Mike.
What? His younger brother?
Ask him yourself.
Fine, you wait right there. Well, I just asked him and it was Mike.
Told you so. Seriously though, how did you not realize that?
Well, I heard he goes by his initials MCs, so I always just called him that.
Well, they do both have the same initials. But that was quite the colossal mistake on your part. You never even called him by his full name?
When I first saw Mitch, he was being interviewed on a news program for a local TV station. He was so handsome and confident, I fell absolutely head over heels for him. I want to get closer to him somehow, so I started looking all over for his information and eventually found his address. I pretended to be an old classmate of his wanting to catch up. Then once we started dating for real, I was like, oh, oops, I guess I was wrong about you being my old classmate. Oh, well, and we just kept seeing each other.
That's kind of marriage fraud, you know?
But as long as he wanted to marry me, so what? I knew that I wanted to marry him.
Such a shame you had this realization while you were engaged to me.
I left all the marriage paperwork to him. I just signed my name on the places he showed me. I guess I never thought to look at what he wrote for his own name. And I mean, they have basically the same face.
Yeah, they were only born a year apart, so they've been mistaken for twins a bunch of times throughout their lives. But there are some distinct differences between the two of them, and once you figure out what their particular features are, it gets pretty easy to tell who is who.
I don't believe this is happening. But Mitch did live in this apartment, right? I didn't get that wrong, did I? When did Mike start living here, and why?
Apparently, it all started about 6 months ago when Mike started living in Mitch's old apartment. Mike had to leave his own place for some reason, and Mitch allowed Mike to stay with him until he settled on a new place. It was only supposed to be for a few weeks or so. But Mike kept coming up with some more and more excuses, and before he knew it, a year had gone by and he was still living there. Furthermore, Mitch figured out that Mike had been bringing a woman into the house while he was out of town on business. Mitch got tired of dealing with it, so 2 weeks ago he left Mike to take care of the old apartment and moved into a new one with his girlfriend.
Wait, so you're saying that I can keep on living with Mike in this incredible high-rise apartment? Awesome! This place is incredible! Maybe being Mike's wife won't be so bad after all. I guess I'll stay with him then.
Well, I'm glad to hear you decided to stay true to your husband. Boy, it sure is a shame you broke up with me. That's a real bummer. How will I ever recover?
Huh, you can cut the sarcasm. I know you're devastated. Killer apartment, then that means that he's still a better man than you, even if he's not as much of a man as Mitch. If you'll excuse me, I think I'll go and cuddle with my new husband. So, what if we got together through a misunderstanding? Our love for each other is the real thing.
Mike's actually unemployed.
Huh?
Yeah, that's the reason he had to leave his old apartment. He got fired from his job and moved in with Mitch until he got back on his feet, which he never did. Are you sure you're okay with a husband like that?
Is that true?
Oh, and one other thing. He's being evicted from that apartment in 2 days because he can't pay this month's rent. So I wouldn't go getting too comfortable if I were you.
In 2 days? 2 days? Hey again, Isaac. So I'm gonna come back to your place tomorrow, okay?
Huh?
Yeah, I changed my mind about breaking up with you. I realized you actually are a pretty good guy, so we can get married after all.
No thanks.
No thanks?
Yep. Breaking up with you is definitely the right choice.
No, it's okay. Don't worry. Mike and I just got divorced.
You think that's the only issue here? I have no interest in marrying you anymore.
But why?
Do I really need to explain myself?
Yeah, I don't get it at all. What's your problem?
You cheated on me for 3 months, broke up with me, married another guy, and divorced him when you learned he wasn't as rich as you thought. If you really need me to explain it any more than that, then yikes.
Come on, give me a break.
As for the breakup settlement, you'll be hearing from my lawyer in the next few days.
Are you really gonna sue me?
From this point on, anytime you want to contact me, you'll have to do it through my lawyer.
You can't do this to me, Isaac. You have to marry me. Please, pretty please. I'll have nowhere to live without you.
The next day, Melissa came back to the apartment we used to share. I had already talked to a friend who let me stay at their place for a while, so fortunately, I avoided having to deal with her. I also contacted Melissa's parents. I told them everything that had happened in the lead up to our engagement being broken off, and they said they'd have her move back in with them to see if they can turn her life around. My lawyer went over to negotiate a settlement for her affair and breaking off our engagement, and as of now, we are officially broken up. She couldn't pay the settlement, of course, so her parents agreed to foot the bill and force her to work to pay them back. She's only ever worked at a part-time job before now, and since that wasn't going to be enough, she's now working 3 jobs in a desperate attempt to pay her parents back before their deadline. And by deadline, I mean if she doesn't pay it all back within 2 years, they'll kick her out of their house and disown her. As for Mike, he really was just too dumb to realize that Melissa was an engaged woman who mistook him for his brother. So I honestly feel kind of bad for him. Hopefully, he'll be able to hold down a job and turn his life around.
I'm really annoyed by having a useless daughter-in-law. How do you plan to take responsibility? What trouble has my daughter caused you? Your daughter is really incompetent. I'm sorry my daughter has caused you so much trouble. You may have been poor, being a single mother, but you could have educated her better. What in the world did my daughter do? Last night's dinner was terrible. She served me this ridiculous dish called paella. That's my daughter's best dish. Did she fail to season it well? I've never had such a weird baked rice dish before. It's a Spanish dish. It has a lot of seafood in it, which I like, but those creepy black clams were disgusting. You mean mussels? Anyway, that messy dish didn't make any sense to me. It's because of you for feeding her such things that she didn't grow up to be a decent girl. With all due respect, I'm proud of my daughter. What part of her can make you proud? She's a good girl with a good heart. There are plenty of women like that in the world. I'm accusing you of raising an incompetent girl. Don't change the subject. I'm sorry. Did you go to college? No, I only went to high school. I knew it. Only an idiot can be born from an idiot. My daughter went to college. Education is useless if that person doesn't have the brains to use it. I know you had her go to college because you're embarrassed about your own educational background, but I guess it was a waste of time and money. If you don't like her so much, why don't you have them move out? Why would I let go of my housekeeper? My daughter is not your housekeeper. Oh, I guess I was wrong. A housekeeper is capable of doing her job well, but your daughter can't. Slave might suit her better. Isn't that a cruel thing to say? Wouldn't you be sad if someone said mean things about your children? We don't have any children who get negative comments from others. My children are all brilliant. I see. Maybe I shouldn't expect more from a woman who grew up in a poor family. My bad for hoping she could be more than she is. I lost my husband early and raised her by myself, but she has grown up to be a fine woman. Don't make me laugh. I'm serious. You should be grateful that your daughter has a kind mother-in-law like me. If it were any other mother-in-law, she would have been kicked out already. Anyway, I will speak to my daughter about this. Do you mind if I end our conversation now? No, I have more to say to you. I already understand the situation well enough. I'm busy too, but I took the time to text you. I have a note describing your daughter's stupidities. I'll tell you everything she has done. I'll call you in 5 minutes. You don't have to. Sorry, Mom. You got text from my mother-in-law yesterday, right? After tons of texts, she gave me a phone call. We ended up talking for about 5 hours. That long? It started at 10 a.m. and ended at 3 p.m. I'm really sorry. I made her angry by serving her paella. She called it baked rice. When I served her aquapazza once, she got mad at me saying, "The seasoning is too weak for a stew." She doesn't like new things. Her ways of thinking were terribly old-fashioned. I'm sorry you had to go through that. I'm fine, but I'm more worried about you, Amy. Living with such a mother-in-law must be stressful. Yeah, I'm at my limit. Won't Ken take your side? He tries to help me. He'll even warn his mother. But it's not enough, huh? I believe she complained to you because Ken won't listen to her words. Why don't you two just move out? We're saving up for the down payment on the house. You'll mentally break down before buying a house. I know. Can I ask you something? What is it? Your mother-in-law said something on the phone. She said you couldn't even raise a child in your belly. What? Have you ever been pregnant? Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you'd be disappointed if I told you. So you're pregnant? I was, but I had a miscarriage. Oh, I see. Now that I think about it, she's become more mean after that miscarriage. She must have been looking forward to having a grandchild. But that doesn't mean she can say whatever about you. I couldn't tell anyone about this, but after the miscarriage, strange things started happening. Like what? The other day, when I tried going down the stairs after taking a shower, oil was on the stairs and I slipped and fell to the bottom. Are you okay? I got a bruise, but that's all. I'm sure there was no oil when I went up, which was about 30 minutes before the accident. No way. Also, whenever I leave the table at dinner time, I feel like something's been put in my food or drink. What? It obviously smelled funny, and I couldn't eat it, so I threw away my food and drink. Then, My mother-in-law looked unhappy, and she would click her tongue. She put something in it. I thought so too. Come back here right away. Your life will be in danger if you stay there. But there's a difference between being nice and being weak. You want another child, don't you? If you stay in a place like that, your children will be in danger too. You're right. If you want to be a mother, be strong. Yeah, I'll talk to my husband about it. You don't have to talk to him. Just take your wallet and phone. Leave that house immediately. I will. I will not tolerate this kind of cruelty towards my daughter. Mom? You remember that kid who used to throw rocks at you every day at elementary school? I'm more angry than that time I punished him. That was the first time I saw you so angry. But since that day, he stopped being mean. Just see what I'm capable of. Careful not to do too much, okay? Did you receive the present I sent you? I haven't received anything. Anyway, your daughter has left the house. She's at your place, right? If she was, then what? I've been trying to reach her, but she won't return any of my calls. Give her back to me right now. She's not your property. Your daughter doesn't only lack common sense, but she also lacks grit. It takes courage to flee too, you know. So what did you send me? Is this some kind of apology for your daughter running away? Well, something like that. You seem to be taking good care of my daughter, so I thought I should show my gratitude. I won't accept it if it's something untasty. You are indeed an impolite person. Excuse me? What I sent you are just pictures. Not some chocolate or candy? These are dangerous times, though, aren't they? What are you talking about? Recently, there are some villas around who intentionally bump into pregnant women and people with small children. Really? Children are precious. I wonder why they would try to harm them. I don't have time to discuss stupid things with you. You can't get away from me, Mrs. Villain. Huh? I know what you've done. I saw you push that pregnant woman in the shopping mall. You got the wrong person. The people who attack others often have some kind of darkness in them. It could be worries, some kind of complex, or personal troubles. What's your point? Since you've attacked my daughter relentlessly, I thought I might find a weakness or two if I carefully looked into you. You've gotta be kidding me. You're a stalker. If you want to call the police, go ahead. You and your daughter are both horrible. Don't change the subject. Why did you do such things? I told you, it wasn't me. Do you have a grudge against a pregnant woman? You're so annoying. I'm telling you, you've got the wrong person. Well, I can't let this criminal loose on the streets. I'm going to submit this footage to the police. Don't do that. I thought you had nothing to do with this. Why are you stopping me? If that criminal looks like me, they might suspect me. The police aren't stupid. All right, I'll tell you the truth, but keep it a secret. I did it. You can't tell anyone, okay? Why did you do it? Because it makes me feel better. Really? Kicking a pregnant woman with a big belly and a smile on her face, or even kicking a stroller lightens up my dark mood. You know what I mean, right? I don't understand at all. It's funny to see the expressions of pain and surprise. You made my daughter fall down the stairs and mixed strange things into her food for such a ridiculous reason? Oh, she knew about it? Don't worry, it's just fabric softener. Huh? But that girl, she's got a good nose. She notices right away. I wish I could see her swallow it. What the hell are you doing to my daughter? It's just a little prank. She's my daughter, whom I've raised with the utmost care. I didn't give permission for her to marry your son to become an old hag's toy. You're an old hag yourself. I may be an old hag, but you're a monstrous old hag who does not deserve to live with a good girl like my daughter. Oh my God, how rude. This is why I don't want to have anything to do with poor people. You're the poor one here. Excuse me? You don't even know what a paella is. You called it baked rice. It was baked rice. You should say that in Spain and have them punish you for making fun of their national dish. We lived in Spain for 5 years. The recipe is authentic and was praised by the locals too. What? Spain? We lived there because of my job. There was one Spanish kid who made fun of my daughter just because she couldn't speak Spanish fluently. I outsmarted him and also contacted his parents, making sure he was punished. He thought we wouldn't be able to talk back and look down on us. I haven't been so angry since then. What does a poor mother and her child have to do with Spain? Who said we were poor? What? I have a good position in a major company. Really? I'm the executive director. No way! After my husband passed away, I've worked hard to support my daughter. My hard work was rewarded with a promotion. I had no idea. From your point of view, I'm an incompetent woman who gave birth to an incompetent girl, right? You may be good at your job, but you failed in educating your child. My daughter can speak 5 languages and owned 3 companies until she got married. She sold the companies to support your son and his wife, and decided to live with an awful mother-in-law, enduring her harassments. Are we really talking about the same person? Too much information to process. She used to be a company president? Yes, that's right. I can't believe it. I didn't think she was the kind of girl to choose a man over work. I decided to support her decisions, thinking that as long as she was happy, that was all that mattered. But she can't be happy living with such a devil like you. So I told her to leave the house. She has money, doesn't she? I believe so. She sold them for a good price, I heard. I'll forgive her for a high-brand bag. Huh? I'm saying that I'm willing to forgive all her disrespect with just one bag. You're the one who should be begging for forgiveness. Why would I do that? Injuring her and putting fabric softener in her food is a crime. I also have evidence of you attacking a pregnant woman. If more than one person is injured, you could be facing jail time. You're going to tell the police? We're family. You've got to be kidding me. I will never see you as my family. Do something about it. You must have connections. Yes, I know a lot of people, including politicians and the police. But I will not help you in any way. If I get caught, you'll be humiliated too. No, it won't affect me. What I have built up over the years won't be easily shaken by a small thing. Damn it. Pathetic. It must have felt good to look down on people. You're looking down on me right now too. No, you're not even worth looking down. I just want to forget you ever existed. This is the biggest humiliation of my life. My daughter is very wealthy, but they tried to buy a house based on her husband's salary, thinking that would suit them better. But her life was in danger, so she decided to buy a townhouse with her money. In one lump sum. I can't believe she had that much money. She'll still have some money left even after purchasing that house. I'm moving there too. I don't want to live alone. You'll have plenty of friends in prison. I'm not going to jail. How can you be so sure? When you have money and power, you can see rare moments when things happen that are beyond the imagination of normal citizens. Don't you dare do anything to send me to jail. I never said I will, but I can't promise anything. For the first time in my life, I'm afraid of other people. I'm just a mother trying to protect my child. I'm sorry I hurt your daughter. In business and in personal life, timing is important. There are mistakes that can't be undone. The same goes for an apology. It's too late to apologize when the person has passed the point of anger. I beg you, please forgive me. Have a good rest of your day. Please save me. Shut up. Don't make me feel any more unpleasant. Okay. Please let me know when you get out. Are you going to treat me to something? No. I will send you back to jail as soon as you get out. No! Helen's crime had become a hot topic on the SNS, and the police were already working on it. Since the victims were pregnant or with small children, they could not chase after her, and that made it difficult to catch her. There were some pregnant women who fell down and got injured. There were also people whose baby strollers were damaged. Combined with my daughter's injury, she was sentenced to prison. My daughter's husband was shocked that his own mother would do such awful things. He suggested to divorce her, saying he didn't deserve to have her as his wife and to take responsibility for what his mother did. But my daughter loved him and was against the divorce. I also told him there is no need for a child to bear any responsibility for what their parents have done. They now live happily in their new house, and I hope they soon forget about the cruel devil that once tried to take away our happiness. By the way, I received great news that I'm going to be a grandmother next year. I must be careful not to spoil my grandchild too much.